Good morning everyone. Myself Shivam and today is our fourth video lecture of studying basic of Python from basics. And today we are going to cover a very important topic whose name is functions, and it is a very important topic in any of the programming language. Without it we cannot be called a programmer if we don't know how to use function, how to define the functions, and it is the main concept in any programming language. So if you have not watched any of my video series, you can watch it from video lecture 1 so that you can understand better. So let's start with our lecture 4, basic of Python programming, and let's start from functions. So basically the first thing that come in our mind is what is functions. So function are a block of organized code that can be reused again and again to perform a specific task. So what does it mean? Like if you want to perform addition of two number a plus b, so till now you have learned that you will write it again and again a plus b, a plus b. But what if you can write it one time and use again and again without wasting our time? So we call that function. The how we can define function we will also see that 2 or 3 minutes later. But first basic is that function are a block of code that can be reused again and again in our programming. So how we can take inputs in function, we can print the output, process them, produce output as it is written in line number 2. A program can build different functions. It is saying that if in our one Python programming it can contain different functions, 2 3 and maybe more than that. The main reason for using functions, or you can call that the benefits of using function, are it improve the readability of the code. So for functions, reader can easily understand what we want to say. It improve reusability. We can reuse the same code again and again. We did not need to write the code second time or third time. Like I have said you, if we want to add two number, we can create a function and we can call the function. So this is a new term how we can call the function. We will see it also. So here debugging of the code is easier if we use functions. Error are easy to be find. So this is also the main benefit of the function, and it also reduces the size of the code. It reduces the size of the code. So let us see the syntax of the function. So how we can define a function? So the syntax of a function is, first we will write a def keyword, which basically means define, and then we will write our function name, and then round bracket, and then inside it we will write a parameter. What are parameter? Parameter are like the variable which we will give to the function name. Then double dot, then we will write our statement or whatever we want to write. So this is the syntax of a function. The keyword def always occur as the start of a function header. It is also written that the def keyword will always be written in the first, and the function name come next to the def keyword. It follow the same rule as any identifier of Python should be unique. The function name should be unique and it will always be written after the def keyword. So the parameter and argument of a function are optional. So what are arguments? Arguments are the actual value of the parameters, and parameter are the things which we have passed to the function name. Then colon start the function block. So basically these two dot or colon start the function block. Then there are 2 3 more lines, you can read it. statement must have proper indentation. What are indentation? I have told you in previous video lecture that indentation are the spaces in the beginning of the line. We have to give proper indentation to make a code error free. And the return statement, which is optional, can be used to return a value. In this we can also use the return statement in functional that will return the value to the function, then we can print it. So our next is how we can define a function. We have learnt this. So there is a simple example of how we can use function. So first we have to define a function name hello world using the def keyword, then add an empty parenthesis, means we did not need to give any parameter name, then and the function header with a colon, which we know that it will always end with the colon. Then inside this we have to print the string with a proper indentation. These four string we need to print, then call the function outside the body function. Now that function is executed only when you call. So basically what this question is saying, that first we need to define a function name hello world. Inside that function we need to print these four print statement, then we need to call that statement. So how we can solve this question? So here is, first we will write def keyword followed by the function name, then colon. Inside this in this question clearly written that we need not to pass the parameter, then colon. Then simply we will print the statement, like here it is print hello world, print good morning, print have a nice day. Then how we can call? We just need to call the function name by writing the function name and passing that round bracket, or if the parameter is also given we need to write the parameter also. So it will print these all four line, and if you again call it, so you need not to write that print statement again and again. You just need to call the function like this and it will automatically print these four line again and again. As many time as you can call the function, it will print these four statement. So for by this you have written only one time code, but you can call it again and again. But if you do not use function, you need to write these four line of code again and again. So this increase reusability and it reduce the line of code in a program. So next is return statement in a function. So what is return statement? The return statement is used to exit the current function that is being executed and to transfer control back to the point where the function was called. So the return statement is used to return back to the function in the beginning, and the return statement will tell that the function end here. So its syntax is, first we will write return keyword, then the value or the expression which we want to return. So this is the return statement syntax. So what are the features of return statement? So the first feature of the return statement is it can contain an expression which is evaluated and resulting value is returned. So it is used to return the value back to the function. If a function return statement lack an expression, the function will return none. If it did not contain any return statement, then it will return none, but it will not give an error. If a function lack a return statement, it will return none. As I have told you, it is also written in second and third. Python function can return multiple values simultaneously. It is a very good feature. We can return 2 or 3 value again. We in this there is no such a problem that we should only return one value. So our next question is, take two integer parameter a and b from the user using input function. First we have to take an input from the user a and b. We have to define three function: add, avg, sub and mul to perform average, subtraction and multiplication on the two parameter a and b respectively, and we have to print the result. So how we can solve the question? So first we will define a function name define addEv as it is seen in the question. Then how we can return the average. So for two parameter, first we will add the two parameters, then divided it by 2, so the average of 2 will come. So same as here written, addEv return a plus b comma a plus b by 2, as we have said that it can return multiple value in Python simultaneously. Then we have defined second function sub, then return a minus b. Then we have defined third function mul, then we have written the product of two parameter. Then we have taken two input, a is equal to int input, b is equal to int input. Then we just call the function like print, and we have written the function name, we have called this function name. So now you understand how we can define a function by writing def keyword and then function name and then round bracket. Inside that we need to pass argument. It is very optional. If you want to pass the parameter you can pass, otherwise it need not to be passed. So these are the function. Next is what are parameter and argument. Now we will study about parameter and argument in deep. So an argument in an expression passed to a function by its caller, establishing the function to perform its task. As I have told you, the argument is the expression that is passed to a function, and it is the actual value of the parameter. Argument are element within a comma separated list and closed in parentheses. So if there are two or more arguments, we will separate by comma. They are separated only in function call, not in the declaration. When we call the function, the argument are specified only there. We cannot specify the argument in the declaration part. They are defined in the calling function. So here what it is written, an example, define greet name comma age. So in this, greet is a function, def is a keyword, name and age are parameter, and when we call the function here greet, we have passed the value alice comma 25. So these alice comma 25 are argument. These are the actual value which will be printed, because the alice will go to name and the 25 will go to age. So this name and age are the parameter and alice and 25 are the arguments, as they are the actual value. So parameter, we now know what are parameters. Like when you define a function, you list parameter inside the parentheses. As I showed you, when you define the function, here I have pointed name and age are the parameter. We need to define the parameter here. Parameter act like local variable. So what are local variable, what are global variable, we will also discuss about it. Just you need to know that local variables are the variables which is used inside a block of code or a function only. They are not called outside the functions. So we will discuss about it also. So we have a simple question. Understand the given code and filling the missing blanks. Fill the function add, which take two parameter a and b. Inside the function add a and b and return the result. So this colored part is our given code, and we need to fill this. I have filled this, so it will be easy for you to understand. First we will take two input d and e, then we will define an function a double d add, and inside this we will pass the parameters a comma b. Then we will return the addition of a and b. Then we will call the function, and we will store that in a variable name x. X is equal to add d comma e. Then we will print the variable x, and the function is called inside x, so the function will be called, and the addition of these two number will be printed as our final result. So don't be confused, like here it is d comma e, here it is a comma b, because these d and e are the variable used here. So don't get confused. In function calling you can give parameter of your choices. So our next is, we know what is argument. So there are basically two type of argument: positional argument and keyword argument. So what are positional argument? When calling a function, the argument are matched with the parameter defined in the function declaration based on their position. So basically what is saying that the argument which are matched with their position are called positional argument. We should give them in a correct order when we call the function or when we declare the function. So we should give it a proper position. So if there is any error in the position, it will give error. Like here it is, for instance, consider the function voter id. Here voter id is the function and name and age are the parameter. The first argument should be string, because here name is string, and the second should be age, which is integer. If there is an error, first we will write age, then we will write name, so it will give an error. Like same keyword argument to enhance code readability and provide flexibility in argument order, Python support keyword argument. So for readability and flexibility, so there is also a keyword argument. Instead of relying on order, you explicitly associated argument with the corresponding parameter. It is first saying that first you will write parameter, then argument name. You need not to specify the position. So this is keyword, but in positional argument you need to note that the position should be same. Like first string is there in parameter, so argument should also be of string type first. So this is the main thing you should note. Here we have one question: the first to call will produce the correct result. So this question I have taken from internet. So these are given. First, if we need to define a function like name is, then for starting we need to pass the parameter age, then name, then we should print first name and then age. So there is no need of functional, there is no need of this keyword argument. Then we should take name and age as input. So then we will call our name age function. Here name age bracket age is equal to age. First we have written the parameter, then we have given the argument, then we have given the parameter, then we have given the argument. So this is a keyword argument, this is not positional argument. If there is positional argument, we need to write here first age then name, otherwise it will give error. But this is keyword argument, you need to specify first parameter then argument, first parameter then argument. So this is keyword argument and positional argument differences. Then there is default argument also in Python. So function argument can have default value. Default argument, basically what the default value are known as default argument. Default value provided using assignment operator. Like when you write the parameter, then you write is equal to, like there is a parameter and you give the value a 10, then there is b variable b parameter, then you give the value b to 10. So this is known as the default argument. The default value is assigned only with no value. So you can read these 4 or 5 points. I will zoom out in this. So you can read out this 4 or 5 point. Any number of argument in a function can have default value. It is saying that there can be number of argument and all can have their own default value. So our next is we need to write a program with positional argument and keyword and default argument. So this will clear your all doubt regarding positional parameter, keyword parameter, default parameter. So write a program with these. The function is given as, so this is the function define function 1. Then here it is default argument, name is equal to Padma, age is equal to 12. This is default argument. Then we will print this name comma is will be printed as it is comma age. So now we have to take name and age as input and follow the command line in the given order. So first we will define a code function, define function. Then we will pass the default parameter, name is equal to Padma comma age is equal to 12. Then we will print name is 12-year-old. So now we have defined a function. Now we have to take two input, name and age, from the user. So we will take name and age from the user. Then we have taken name and age from the user. Now our work is to follow the commands line and call the function one by one. So the first comment is saying that first we have to call the function by passing argument name comma age. So it's simply saying that pass the argument name comma age. So these are the default parameter and these are the default argument, but these are not default, we have taken as input from the user. So we will call function 1 this function name, then default argument name, not default, then passing the argument name comma age. Then we have to call the function by passing age is 16 and user given name. The user given name, so this is the user given name which we have taken from the user, and age as 16, so comma age is equal to 16. So we can also pass the argument like this type of value. Then we have to call the function by only passing age and name is default. So default name is Padma, this is the default argument. So we will call the function and call this Padma, and age is the parameter which we have to pass, same as without passing the argument. So we will call the function without passing the argument. So I think it's now clear the difference between default argument, positional argument, keyword argument, these. So the next thing is arbitrary number of argument. So what are arbitrary number of argument? It is saying that if we don't know about how many argument are there, so we can use one sign asterisk, which is a sign that there can be a number of argument. So this is arbitrary. This multiply sign is also known as asterisk. This can be asked you in Viva or MCQs type question. So it is also written that in certain cases user might not possess a clear exact number of argument, so we need to pass this asterisk sign. So it is a sign that there can be a number of arguments. So basically the syntax for this is define, the syntax is same for defining the function, like define function name, but this asterisk sign is here before the arguments. This is sign that there can be a number of arguments. So next is introduction to lambda function. So what is lambda function? Lambda function is anonymous function without a name. Means like in 6th 7th classes you have read poem, so the writer name is sometimes given anonymous because the writer do not want to reveal his real name, so he write anonymous. So regular function are defined using def keyword. Similarly anonymous function defined using lambda keyword. So if you want to define a regular function, you need to write def then function name, but if you want to define a function without anonymous function, then you should write lambda and then function name. So the syntax of this is lambda, function name and expression. So the feature of lambda is lambda can be used anywhere we need regular function object. So it can be used anywhere inside the code. They can have many argument but can have only one expression. so it can have many argument 2 3, but the expression for that is only one. The expression is evaluated first and value is returned. The expression will always be evaluated and a value is returned. Like define square x. This is simple defining of a regular function. Then we will return x multiply x, so it will return the square. But for lambda function we can write this as square lambda. The function name is equal to lambda like def keyword and then x colon x multiply x. So this is a regular function and this is a lambda function. This, so we can use lambda function inside another function also. So the main difference is this, and the difference between regular and lambda function is also written here in slide number 19. Like regular function versus lambda function. Define square return x guna x, but in lambda function square lambda is equal to lambda x colon x multiply by x. But here it is without any name, here it is with a name square. So this is the main difference between a lambda function and a regular function. So next is understanding map function. So the map function is used to apply a given function to each element of a sequence like a list and produce a new transform collection. So the map function is a function which is applied to all element of a sequence. Like in list there are 10 elements, so the map function will be applied to all the 10 element, not 2 or 4, all the 10 elements. So what is the syntax of the map function? First we will write map, then in round bracket we will write the function name, comma we will write the iterable. So you are now confused at what are iterable. Iterable are like a collection of items, like we have read list, tuple, dictionaries. So these are the collection of items, they came under the iterables. So how it work? First we will have a list of number, like here number is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Then we will define a function f, define f x return x double asterisk sign and 2, it mean x square. Then we will apply the map function map, then function name, then the iterable means this list, then it will apply all the number and it will square all the number. Like here it is the output 1 4 3 ka square 9 4 square 16. So this is how the map function will work. It will, I have said, like in their list there is if 10 number of elements, so it will be applied to all 10 number of elements. So this is the map function. You can also use it using a lambda function without a regular function also. Then next is filter function. Similar as map, there is also a filter function. The filter function applies the function to each element in the sequence. The map function did not apply the sequence, but in filter function it will also apply in sequence. Like let us consider two lists A and B. These are two lists. Print list filter lambda x in A and B. The result will be 2 3 7 9. It will write the things that are in both the list and in a ascending or descending order in which you want to type. So here 2 is common, 3 is common, 7 is common and 9 is common in both the list. So it will print 2 3 7 9 and in ascending order. So this is the basic function of the filter sequence. Now this is, you can use a filter and a map function. This is question. Next is local variable. So what are local variable? Same as local variable, there are also global variable. So what do you understand by local and global? As the name suggests, local, so inside a loc, or the local variable that can be accessed only inside a function or a block of so here it is also written, it is accessible only within that function. Local variable are created when the function is called and destroyed when the function ends. So when the function is called, the local variable is created, but when the function ends, local variable also end there, like there is a limit of local variable. Here it is like a example, like first we will define a function def function 1, then a is equal to 10. Here a is a local variable with the function 1, and a is also a local variable with function 2, but if you name a to global variable, it cannot be initialized two times because it is a global variable which is of a whole code. But in this, when the function end, like here the function end here print a, then the a variable also end here, so it is a local variable. Even though like here you will understand that this pdf came two times, sorry, my mistake. So here it is a question like, write a Python program to demonstrate local variable in the following. First we have to define a function named test1 and declare local variable this and print that. Then we have to define another variable, another function test2, and define a local variable and print them also. Third we need to call the function test1, and then we need to call the function test2. So first we will define a function named test1 and initialize the local variable a with 50, b with 80, and then we will print that. Then we will define the function test2, then initialize a with 22, b with 44, and then print. Then we will call the function test1 and test2. So these are the local variable. These do not get error because these are the local variable. But if we declare them outside the function, so we cannot initialize them two times. This is the difference between local variable and global variable. Now this is global variable. Global variable defined outside all the function and is accessible from any function. As I have said, global variable is accessible throughout whole the program. So the example of global variable is x is equal to 10. It is defined outside the function. This is function, and inside this we have written print. So this x value 10 is accessible here to this x. Then we have defined function to like global x, like here also x is 25. If we want to print this x will be printed here, and then we have called all two function 1 and function 2 here. So this is a example of. Here I have given you one question. Let example that noticing call changes has no effect on global. Take an integer input a from the user which is defined globally. Then the program in the editor contain two functions, change global and change local. Complete the code. So first we have to take a input from the user, a is equal to in the input, then define a function name change global, then declare a global variable like global a. If we want to define a variable to global, we need to write the global in front of that variable. Now a is defined globally, then we will assign the value a to 100, and then we again need to make a function change local, then we will assign the value a to 500, and then we need to print the local value a. Here it will be printed 500 because it is inside the change local function. Then global a before call, then we will call this a, this will call also make a 500 because it is also called. Then we will call change global function. Here it is change global, so it will be the value of a will be 200, like same. So these are the differences between local variable and global variables. Then next came to function composition. So what is function composition? It combines function in a way that that the return value of each function is passed as an argument of the next. Like if there are two functions, so the input of another is the output of another. So let us consider with an example. Like we need to consider two function f1 and f2. Composition of two function is denoted as this, like function inside another function. X is the argument of f2 function and the return of f2 is passed to the argument of f1. So how we can use that? Like here, first we need to define a function square x, and then we will return the square. Then we will define the double of x, then we will return x multiplied by 2. So this is that the x is same for this and this, but it is returning 2 times. So this is the main thing. So we will take num as input and we will first call square function. So firstly it will do the square root of x, then it will call the double function this one time, this will call this here, and then the value of num is here. So if the value of num is 2, so it will double the 2 to 4, and then it will square of 4, so it will give 16 value. So this is a function inside another function. First we call the first function, then we will call the second function. So this is function inside another function. So this is also nested function. Like I said, first there we will define one function, then inside this we will define another function. So now we are about to end the video. This is the last question. This is the Python code. What will be the output of the following Python code? Define outer, and this is the function name outer. Then there we have defined a variable message and given the message hello. Then we have defined another function inside the outer function, define inner. This inner function is defined inside the outer function. Then in the define inner function we have print the message hello. Then we have called the inner function and then we have called the outer function. So this is MCQ type question. So you need to tell me that which of these four answer will be tell. If there will come hello, there will come inner, there will come outer, or this will give error. You can see the question now. Define outer. So what it is saying that first we have defined a function name outer. Inside this we have given a message hello, which is stored in the variable message. Then we have defined a inner function. Then we have defined in inner function we have write print message. So this print message will call this message and it will here printed hello. Then we have called hello, we have called inner function. So in this inner function the message is printed as hello, so this inner function will also give us hello. Then we have called the outer function. In inner function is called inside outer function, so when we call the outer function it will also give us this hello statement. So maybe now you have understand that we have defined a function outer, then inside this we have defined another function. So this is main topic of today's lecture also, that the function inside another function, and it is very confusing to students that how we can call a function inside another function. So this print message will call this hello and it will be called outside with this outer function. So the answer to this question is this hello, and it is also given here also, this hello. So today's lecture is over. This PDF will be available, you can take screenshot also. This we have covered a lot about functions. So in the next video we will talk about recursion, mathematical functions, and then we will discuss about set dictionaries in deep, how we can do slicing in set, what are sets. In first lecture we have just covered the basic of set and that, but in this if you want to practice more questions, just comment me, I will give you a practice set of question. You can practice them on VS Code and you can also see these question twice. Just remember that what are local variable, what are global variable. So thank you and have a nice day.